racing today, but especially the Type R Trophy.
Yeah, very much. I love these cars. The EP3s really don't show their age, do they? It's one of those cars that, despite the fact that they're 20 odd years old, in terms of their evolution, they look so good, and they're well driven, they're quick, and they've got those wonderful engines which they really sing.
Yeah, that's right. It's the K20 engine, not the K20 engine that these cars all run. Yesterday's race was a little bit truncated, unfortunately, with that Andrew Cooper car in the Grand Prix bringing out a safety car under a premature conclusion.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the nature of the beast, really, at Brands Indy Circuit. These really well-matched cars and drivers. It's a very short lap, difficult for marshals to get out and retrieve cars which have strayed. But it is what it is, and I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic day's sport here at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, so pole position, that has gone the way of Kai Lindsay in the 374 car, so he was 10th.
Found himself in the right place.
Absolutely, and it was a very closely fought midfield battle before the red flag, but so it's Kai Lindsay, the Yorkshire driver, on pole, besides Tom McFarlane, who's 35 from Loughborough, working in plant and machinery hire. Been racing since 2023, initially racing at the CNC Heads Northwest Sports and Saloon Championship in Oviedo Shiroko before switching to Type R Trophy with the DH Racing last season. Second row of the grid, you've got number 12, Richard Jones, who's from Middlesbrough, fabricator, who's 32 years of age. He's been racing for 3 seasons in this car that he prepares with his dad. And then next to him, 66, Ross Borman. Quite experienced now, been racing in the Type Rs for a few seasons, having raced in the Clio Championship before that as well. Third row of the grid, we have the 151 car, which is Andy Stephens, the digital marketing agency owner from Congleton, another driver that's in his 3rd season of racing. He's in the ex-Matt Digby car, and he had multiple class wins in the Club Sport Trophy previously. And 83, John Labella, is on the outside of the 3rd row of the grid. He's 37 from Hexham, up in Northumberland. Done some karting, another DH racing car. His father, Giovanni, was a rally driver in the past as well. So cars coming back onto the grid ahead of a 15-minute race. We are something like half an hour later than planned getting our racing underway, so no doubt it'll be a slightly shorter lunch break during the course of the day. But we are all set for the first of our 11 races.
All you've got to do is press next.
It is Lindsay in the white, red and blue car on pole position. It's the green car with the grey trim of grey bonnet of McFarlane next to him. It's the blue and silver car of Jones on the second row, besides the pink and silver cars. Borman's also made a good start as well as they head off towards Paddock Bend for the first time. It in fact looks like it is going to be Borman has moved into the lead of the race. It's Kai Lindsay in second place as they drop back down the hill. Of course, you've got some of the quicker drivers from race 1 trying to make their way through the field. There's Don de Graaf in the
fifth. Up to 3rd now. By the looks, it's the black car with the stripes all over it, and Richard Jones in 4th.
Yeah, as they head along the Coupe Straight into Surtees for the first time. So it's Borman leading from the car that was on the pole position, and the car that was leading McFarlane has got going again, I can tell you. So it's Borman leading from Lindsay in second place and Labella in 3rd as they come up and over the line for the first time.
Yep, there they go, and Ross Borman, the Ford Renault Clio racer, who has the advantage over Kai.
Taken a hit as well from a car that was inside him coming through from behind as he was stationary on the circuit. There's a huge kind of that's a huge hit to one of the cars there on the way up to Drizzt. We've got the red lights on, race being stopped straight away there by the officials. Multiple cars, I think the cars involved in a collision. 4th touched. The Bella's spun one way, and then somebody else spun the void and went to the ground. So it came up there. There's 3, at least 4 cars involved, and one of them ended up very, very close to where McFarlane had been against the barrier before he got going after the first lap. So Kai Lindsay in the number 374 car that starts on pole position by dint of finishing 10th yesterday, so partially reverse grid. Besides him is number 13 Tom McFarlane. On the second row of the grid, 12 Richard Jones and 66 Ross Foreman, who was leading the race when the red flag came out. Third row 151 Andy Stevens is on his own because of John McNally, clearly not taking part in the restart after his heavy collision in the first race. The first part of the race, row 4 has number 19 Ollie Musgrave with his own photograph also absent. He was caught up in the fellow's initial spin in the first part. Row 5 is 42 Traffic King, the winner from yesterday, and 74 Richard Lindsay. Row 6, 24 James Johnson, and 10 Mohammed Ben Lada. Row 7 is 114 Dale Worton. He got 5 place red penalties, and he also overtook the safety car yesterday. He's next to last year's Mercedes Chaplin, 46 Shea Kavanagh. Row 8 is 77 Luke Evans, and 97 Jordan Banks. Row 9 is 16 Adam Huntley, and 26 Lee Rickard. Row 10 is 7 Andrew Edwin, and 60 Jack Reynolds. And it's James Millward and Drew Cooper on row 11. Max Moxie is not there on row 12 of the grid. Jerry Delgado is on his own, and David Walsh is at the back. 22 cars on the grid there. Off on their one-way up lap, Marcus Pye alongside me in the commentary box. And Marcus, we obviously wish all of those drivers involved in that incident an hour or so ago very well.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's so disappointing to see a big accident at any point, particularly when cars and drivers are knocked about, and that was a particularly heavy impact as a result of a fairly innocuous tag at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend. But as you say, very swift action by marshals and medics, and the drivers are receiving medical attention, so that's good news in itself. But let's concentrate on the race. It's come to reform on the grid with that bandaged car of McFarlane sitting there on the outside of the front row. That was the separate incident. That was the earlier incident. So in the attempt to start the race, and Tom McFarlane in the 13 car, lucky to be in this one. I think he just caught the edge of the barrier, didn't he, as he went in the tyre wall, and was able to drive it back to the pits. Last lines just coming in, just last pairings.
From pole position by Kai Lindsay at the top. It's a great start from the second row by Ross Borman, and he's alongside Kai Lindsay. He's ahead of Kai Lindsay as they head into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time, but he's on the outside. Richard Jones in the front spot is fourth as they head around to the first time.
Yes, Andy Stevens also trying to sneak up the inside there to recapture fifth. But as they come down through Grand Hill Bend, it is still Foreman from Lindsay. McFarlane is next, then it's Jones, and then he's three abreast down the Cooper Straight there. Some wing mirrors going in a second, but those are things you can't all fit through, surely, through Surtees in Honda Civics. They've managed to get through all safely.
Well, the car in the middle of that was Trafford King, wasn't it? Yesterday's race winner.
Working his way through.
He'll be one of the favourites for the championship this year, I would think, as we've got Richard Jones going alongside there, the 151 car of Andy Stevens, and absolutely side by side as they go over the line within 200 of a second to one another. Behind him is Trafford King, who's got to try to avoid that now as they head back down towards Graham Hill Bend for the second time in this race. A bit close there between the 24 and 19 cars. 19 is Musgrave, 24 is the car of Jake Johnson. But there's Trafford King. He's made him a place now in the number 42 car. He's got ahead of Mohammed Ben Lada and up into the top six.
Yes, there's the car. Ben Lada with his rear bumper, akimbo. As they come up onto the straight, that may well be ground off before he gets next to just slow the car down the straight line. Full air brake.
Jake Johnson as well, the sort of gunmetal grey car. Meanwhile, Ross Bourne continues to lead. He pulled out another 2/10 on that lap. He and Kai Lindsay are going away from Tom McFarlane in 3rd place. Still Ben Larder, who raced at the Hot Hats Championship last year, still trailing that bump he'll be getting if it doesn't come off. The black and orange warning flag. In fact, he is going to get that. I can see on my screen now that's come up. He's going to be getting the black and orange warning flag, so you're going to need to come to the pits and get that taken off.
Yeah, that's right. There he is, Ben Larder. Yellow car.
Musgrave also getting past Joe Dalgarno, who's come through from the back of the grid. He's coming down the inside now. Is Dalgarno. The car in the middle, which is Musgrave, was locked up. Dalgarno, who's managed to get his wipers on somehow, has managed to keep out of the side of him. He's lost momentum, and David Walsh, who started at the back, having non-started just today, he's coming through on the inside now as well.
He looked like B2E exploring the grass for a moment, didn't he? Because there was barely room for 3 abreast out of Graham Hill Bend. I don't think Ben Larder's seen the warning flag.
0.6 of a second the lead from Ross Bourne from Kai Lindsay and Tom This is the map of the 3rd position. For 3rd place.
And the turquoise car, almost like the house colour car of Trafford King, 6th place. You get the impression he's sort of biding his time and not worried too much about it.
He did the
fastest lap.
Yeah.
He's not worried about it because 2 or 3 of the cars that started just ahead of him on the grill, due to start ahead of him, couldn't make the restart. And on consistency alone, as well as speed, he's going to be in a very good position coming up this weekend if he can pick up another.
The 2 leaders though, through Surtees and then McLaren 2.5 lengths between them as they go. Then here's the scrap for 3rd, which is even closer.
Yeah, Stevens isn't quite close enough to explore any gap going into clearways. McFarlane runs a bit wide, which allows his rivals to close up into the slipstream. We saw how powerful the slipstream was yesterday among the BMWs in the 116 Trophy, and equally so. Stevens, wasn't it? Rid it off the outside of the tag into the braking area of the paddock. Both cars beached up there in the ground.
Jones, I think it's in 3rd place. Black flag has gone out now for the number 10 car of Mohammed Ben Larder, because he's been ignoring the black and orange flags. But it's McFarlane and Stevens, also Jones up to 3rd, Trafford King up to 4th place, and that's why you bide your time, because something like that might happen ahead of you to make the passageway a bit more clear. It is still Ross Bourne leading, is about a length and a half clear, but it's King now up the inside of Jones to get 3rd, but just as yellow flags are coming out for the safety car being called, which is no great surprise with 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Well, they come through then in the order of Bourne, Lindsay, Trafford King up into 3rd place, and Jones is 4th, Lindsay is 5th, 2nd Lindsay, Richard Lindsay in 7th for 116, David Burton, Joe Johnson, Musgrave, and the 21 car of Walsh, David Walsh. They are in something like Dalgarno.
Yeah, so Dalgarno. Trophy was Ross Bourne on pole position. He's made a good start. Kai Lindsay was slower away, and so he's going to drop back down. sideways and spinning into the gravel already. This could give him sucker as the leaders then turn their way out of Druids down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. It is Ross Borman that is in the lead of the race from in second place, the 74 car, which is that of Richard Lindsay, as they're making their way along the Cooper Straight towards Surtees.
There goes Traffic King.
Oh, and there's another spinner on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. Didn't spot who that was. Back onto the circuit. I think possibly because the safety car was straddled and that confused some of the drivers, Marcus.
The important thing is that Traffic King has started from his point of view, so for a restart, should there be one, and not just holding it under a safety car, that would work, but also it will allow him to charge through from the back if there is no restart. But at the moment there's that car stuck over there, which is number 5.
In third place, possible change there, David Walsh on the inside of Kai Lindsay there.
Traffic King decided very wisely not to overtake Andrew O'Dwyer over the line. That he could have done. He hung back.
So here they come. Ross Bullman leading, Richard Lindsay second, Richard Jones in third. And it's Musgrave in the orangey car with David Walsh behind him. It's Hot Hatch race out of Clio, and then it's Kai Lindsay in sixth, Joe Dalgarno in seventh. Over the timeline with exactly half of the race to go in terms of time. And it's a 56.951 the first flying lap for Bourne, 56.776. For 18th place,
Top 10 potential, do you think?
I would think so. I think that's a possibility. But I think we'll see. He's going to be quite meticulous about this. He's not going to be sort of doing anything too rash, I don't think. That was sort of how he drove the earlier race. Earlier today, talking of not doing anything rash, that's David Walsh up the inside of Ollie Musgrave, and push to pass has seemed to have worked there. So Walsh has gone through. Musgrave has been slowed by that. So also going through as well is Joe Dalgarno in the 93 car. You've got Dale Wurton just managing to hold off Kai Lindsay as well. But Walsh making his way through. Not easy to play. Has made them that place. Down with Musgrave now ahead of Wurton, 6th and 7th. Wurton carrying more speed out of Graham Hill Bend along Cooper Straight into Surtees with that damage on the front of the car. He's up on the inside. Oh, and off on the grass goes Musgrave. Well, that was all by himself this time. Back on the second. It's lost the place to Kai Lindsay. The next car behind him is the 16 car of Adam Huntley, who is the director of the construction company in Beggs Hill, not too far away now on the south coast.
Another place picked off by Traffic King at 42, the late house turquoise coloured car. For yesterday's race.
Looks like Ben Nard's gone back out into the race, having had whatever bodywork he was dealt with. Oh, and Lindsay almost getting into the back of Musgrave. Just behind this is the
Supposed to be close to 3 drivers in 3 laps in that part of the circuit for Ollie Musgrave.
Walsh doing the best lap of the race on that lap, 55.80. So they've got a bit of a gap in seat to make up before he catches the cars.
Typically it becomes more difficult as you climb.
Looking for his second win of the day, trying to fend off Richard Lindsay and Richard Jones.
I think that was McFarlane had a really good dive into Graham Hill Bend. Looked like he carried a bit too much speed, managed to yank it in. For the second race.
Yeah, over the line they go. Probably 4 more laps to go, I would think, in this race. It's going to be pretty tight on There's not many cars that are going to leave Brands Hatch pristine, unfortunately, after this opening meeting of the season for the Tegiwa Type R Trophy. I think it's much the same last year, if I remember rightly, as well. Hopefully things will settle down for future rounds. From Lindsay, who's been distracted, I think, by the attacks from Richard Jones, and now David Walsh has caught both of them. Places being made up from 3 laps to go. So Washington in the number 21 car, and there's a 4th position. There is number 12 in the main blue car, Richard Jones. Richard Lindsay, number 74, is next up. Richard Jones, who's the 32-year-old fabricator from Middlesbrough. Started racing 3 years ago.
Clint King's not coming that way. Looking like see again.
Yeah, it's going to be over the line shortly, I think.
He finished second in the earlier race today, and Richard qualified following suit this time round. King 13th.
It's clear ways they go. It's 5 for the lead now. Joe Delgano's joined in, and it's going to be very tight whether we get 1 or 2 more laps here. It's a 56-second lap, basically. It's 58, 57, 56 seconds to go. It's going to be 1 more lap to go in this race. There's 55 seconds left as they go across the timing line. Borman. Right-hander they come for the final time. Most of the right-handers here, of course. It is going to be Ross Borman then. 50 minutes off. Checkered flag goes out. Ross Borman wins for the 2nd time today in the Tegiwa Type R Trophy.
Your winners.
It's Richard Lindsay 2nd, Richard Jones 3rd, then David Walsh, Joe Delgano 5th, Dale Worson 6th, Ryan Lindsay, Ollie Musgrave, Adam Lindsay, and the number 97 car drawn back to the top 10 by only 7.5 seconds at the end of Schultz, 13 lap separating. Luke Evans was a lap, 77.